Something beyond? So why are we talking about innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship, all this stuff? Why do you think? Why so much of exercise is happening in all the colleges, even at the government level? Are you aware about startups? How many of you know T-Hub? Only few. Why? What about others? What is T-Hub today? Largest in the world. Okay, wonderful. It is in Hyderabad. And half of you don't know. T-Hub is now world's largest business incubator. How many incubators are there in Hyderabad? Just a rough guess. Anyone? Funded incubators. How many are there? Hyderabad, local. Telangana, around 100 are there, yes. In Hyderabad. Yes, Chandama. 30.
50.
Inkoncham.
60. 60.
So yesterday only we had the Telangana incubators meet. Okay. We are 44 incubators right now in Hyderabad, which are all funded by the government of India. Okay. And out of which Usmania Technology Business Incubator is one among them. Okay. So the building that you are saying, this building is called Central Facilities for Research and Development. Okay. It is a common facility for all the 75 departments of Usmania University. Okay. So any research project which is value more than 1 crore comes to this building. Otherwise, if it is below 1 crore, that is done in the respective departments. Yeah. There are academic labs, there are research labs in the departments as well. If the value is more than 1 crore, then that project will come to this central facility. So this building is directly under the Vice Chancellor. Okay. So ground floor and first floor of this building are all research projects, whereas the second floor, the top floor, is entirely given to incubation center called Usmania TBI, Usmania Technology Business Incubator. And we are funded by a government scheme called RUSA, RUSA. It stands for Rashtriya Uchchata Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay. Can you guess how much fund you got under RUSA? It is under Ministry of Education, Government of India. The fund. Yes, girls, guess how much fund Usmania University got under RUSA? Any guesses? Action. 20 crores. Okay. Any other guess? Very good. 100 crores, guys. Usmania University has got around 107 crores funding from RUSA, under which Usmania TBI is one of the centers that was established, and there are 6 more centers of excellence. Okay. In all emerging technologies, Center for AI, Center for Data Science, Center for Cyber Security, like that, 6 centers of excellence and 1 incubation center was established under RUSA. Okay. And very recently, there was one more center that was established in Usmania University called NCAM. NCAM stands for National Center for Additive Manufacturing. Any idea? Additive manufacturing? 3D printing. Okay. And that center is under Ministry of Electronics and IT, which is another extra 10 crores of funding from the government. Okay. So why I am telling you all this is, okay, I'll narrate you my own story. Okay. I finished my BTech in the year 2007. 2007 I finished my BTech. And then I started my career with corporate. I first worked with Satyam Computers, which is now Tech Mahindra. From there, I moved to Thomson Reuters. Okay. So when I was working in Thomson Reuters, I was sponsored for my higher education. When most of my colleagues did their MBA, I was the only odd one out guy who did MTech. Because during my BTech, I was interested in research. I wanted to do PhD. I want doctor in front of my name. That was my dream at your age. Okay, so like that, I did my MTech. And after completing my MTech, it was sponsored by the company entirely. And then I requested my company to sponsor me again for my PhD. They said already they have spent a lot on me, not possible. In order to do PhD, it is very difficult to do PhD working in a corporate company. Okay, so that's the reason I shifted from corporate to academic. So after my MTech, I started my academic career as an assistant professor at KL University, Vijayawada. And parallelly, I was searching for my PhD. Okay. Then what happened? My BTech was in electrical and electronics engineering, EEE. But my MTech company sponsored me for computer science. So I did my MTech in computer science. For applying for PhD, they were not ready to accept interdisciplinary. Even now, JNTU and OU is not ratifying my two different disciplines. Okay? So this became a challenge. I was so lucky that I did not get admission anywhere in India. So lucky. Then I got it in Japan. So I got a scholarship from Japanese government, okay, called MEXT scholarship, MEXT, MEXT scholarship. Right from the flight I took from Hyderabad, then my 3 years stay in Japan, and then back to India. Everything was sponsored. Free education. And then 2016, I finished my PhD. I came back to India. Okay. During my stay in Japan, I had an opportunity to do my overseas internship. Okay. And it was not supposed to be done at your home country. You have to do it in some third country. So I went to Vietnam. Okay. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And that's the place where for the first time I saw a incubation center. Till then, nobody knows what is a incubation center. I was surprised. I could see students starting their own companies in the campus itself, and there is a company atmosphere in the college itself, and students are becoming entrepreneurs. Then I started wondering why this is not there in India. Vietnam, it is there. Compared to India, Vietnam is still far backward. Then why not it is there in India? I was exploring. I came to know that it is already there in IITs, but it is not so common in universities and colleges. Okay? Then 2015, Niti Aayog was established. How many of you know Niti Aayog? Any idea? What is Niti Aayog? Niti Aayog? Yes? Anyone who knows? Niti Aayog. Hello? Not it. National Institution for Transforming India. That is the full form. Otherwise, it is nothing but the Planning Commission of India. Earlier it was called Planning Commission. Every country will have a Planning Commission. Okay. The chairman of Planning Commission will be the Prime Minister himself. Okay. And there will be people, experts, picked up from different sectors who will be advising the Prime Minister directly. that is planning commission. Okay, you might have studied in your school, they make 5-year plans for the country. Idea vachinda? 5-year plans. Okay, so 2015, what happened was, it was changed to Niti Aayog. It started functioning more like a ministry, separate ministry. Okay, Niti Aayog is the think tank of the country. Okay, and when Niti Aayog was formed, it was entrusted with the responsibility of addressing some of the critical challenges that are faced by the country. That was the responsibility given to Niti Aayog. Okay, like that there are so many challenges, and there is one such challenge when it comes to youth. So you tell guys, you are the youth, right? What is that one challenge that is faced by the youth of today? Anyone? There are so many challenges, I know. You have so many problems. But tell me one such critical problem at the national level, country level we are facing. Enti? చెప్పండమ్మా. Employment కదా, unemployment అన్నారు. Unemployment, yes. Unemployment was one such critical problem which was given to Niti Aayog to address. Okay. Then the so-called experts, they had lot of brainstorming, and then finally they said that there is no solution to this problem. But they came up with an alternative. It's not a solution, but it is an alternative. The alternative is self-employment. Here there are two logics, guys. The first logic is, the moment you are self-employed, it means that you are not unemployed anymore. So simple, right? The moment you are self-employed, you are not unemployed anymore. And then, if you become successful in whatever self-employment you are doing, then you will be in a position to provide employment opportunities to 4 more others. You agree with me? With this logic, Niti Aayog has suggested to Government of India to let us focus on self-employment. So that is how the story started. In 2015, Niti Aayog was formed. Okay, it took 1 year for them to materialize, and then in the year 2016, they started something called as Atal Innovation Mission, AIM. Okay, Atal is of course the name from Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Okay, Innovation Mission, it was started. Government of India has then invested huge on so many self-employment schemes. Okay, today there are more than 10 different ministries from the central government who have kept schemes for startups and schemes for incubation centers. 10 ministries have kept schemes. Okay, and further to that, state government has kept some additional schemes. Okay, so that is the support that has come from the government. Okay, Niti Aayog has started Atal Innovation Mission. Under Atal Innovation Mission, they started 3 projects. First project was for schools, for kids. It is called ATL, Atal Tinkering Labs. Number 2 is for you guys, AICs, called Atal Incubation Centers. And then very recently they started one more project called ACIC, which stands for Atal Community Innovation Centers, which is for rural areas. Okay, all these 3 projects are monitored by Atal Innovation Mission. Usually all the government projects are generally headed by bureaucrats. IAS officers, IPS officers, they lead the program. But this was first time in India they did not give the directorship to a bureaucrat. Instead, they picked up a person from a corporate and made him the first director. At that time, TCS, TCS company had one gentleman called Ramanatha Ramanan. He was a senior vice president in TCS. So he was picked up as the first director of AIM, Atal Innovation Mission. They call it as mission director. Okay. So not bureaucrats. This time they have picked up person from corporate. So Ramanathan, across the country, he picked up people from corporate sector who all came under Atal Innovation Mission. That team, okay, made this program very successful. Okay, let me tell you guys, each program I'll let you know. First is for schools, I said, right? It is called ATLs, Atal Tinkering Labs. What do you mean by the word tinkering? Tinkering, Tinkering. Tinkering అంటే ఏంటి? So, as you know, school kids are very curious. Yes or no? They ask so many questions. You don't ask any questions. School kids, they ask so many questions. They are very curious. Tinkering lab is nothing but a small lab inside a school, okay, having all the latest technologies. It can be artificial intelligence, it can be 3D printing, it can be robotics, anything. It is kept in a lab inside a school, and that exposure is given to those kids in that age. Then what happens? By the time they grow up, when they come to your age, they will do definitely something on innovation. With that idea, tinkering labs were started. Okay. Today, India is having more than 20,000 tinkering labs across the country. 20,000 tinkering labs. It means in 20,000 schools across the country, they have set up this tinkering labs with funding from Niti Aayog. Each school got around 15 lakh rupees per year. First to set up and then to run the program. Yeah. And let me tell you guys, it was so successful that those kids, they even got opportunity to travel with the Prime Minister to so many countries. Our students, they went to Israel, they went to Russia, they went to Singapore, and they got chance to present their innovative ideas. At the same time, even students from those countries also, they came to India and they had that exchange. Okay, this is about tinkering labs. Now let us talk about incubation centers, which is more relevant to you and concerned to you. Okay, so before I tell about that, what is an incubation center basically? I was telling, I saw it for the first time in Vietnam. So what is that incubation center? So before that, another question is, what do you mean by a startup? Because without knowing startup, it is useless telling about incubation center. What do you mean by a startup? ఈ మధ్య అందరు స్టార్టప్ అంటున్నారు, అవునా కదా? ఇట్ హాస్ బికమ్ ఏ బజ్ వర్డ్. ప్రతి విధవ ఐఎమ్ స్టార్టప్ ఫౌండర్ అంటున్నాడు. What is a startup, guys, basically? Yes, anyone? Yes. Inka? Come on, guys, participate. This is not your regular boring lecture. This is something which is most happening in the country, throughout the world. Startup. What do you mean by startup? Yeah, last row. Most of the startups have come from last benches. That's why I'm asking last benches. Usually toppers sit in the front. They become employees. The backbenchers, they become startup founders. They provide employment opportunities to the toppers. Yeah, guys. మీకు ఏం తెలుసో చెప్పండి, we can correct it. Yeah, girls, please.